scary position if you are a youngster, but it's all a fake. It's misdirection. It's smoke and mirrors because they're now pushing on Catwalk, but LNZ is here, and the Swede has sent one player already packing. X-Flower now up to the task of taking one, but he's gone in for more. A second frag as he just flicks down and takes off the head and gives his team a 2v1.
On planted briefly, but Tanir in position. He actually can't get the kill cleanly. The Lear is so low on health. Eventually, they'll be able to get the job done.
Like, Sunpice has no idea. X-Cloud is now lining up the grenade, but it could be too little too late as they now explode out onto Long, and Sunpice has 4 players just spraying him down.
Oh man, just the walk up short from Nemiga, something that Heroic briefly overlooked.
Yeah, exactly. This is the dream scenario for Nemiga, realistically. The only way it could be any sweeter is if they denied all 3, trying to maybe hit and run. X-Flower with the 5-7 up on short, but he's not going to be required. On that position, at least, LNZ goes out, more damage inflicted, but there was no follow-up from teammates. So although he has inflicted a bit of pain and suffering, the same can now be said for Tenia, who gets a grenade straight on his head. There's a flash in, another dink. All 3 players around 10 or less health. And although the plant will be coming through successfully, there's surely going to be Heroic's round at this point. As they finish off the weakened, limping Nemiga squad, Heroic get the successful... He's just going to bypass the smoke. That's the kind of aggression you were talking about, but... Youngster, he is alert to that possibility. And although Heroic do have the player advantage, mid-control now falling under the way of Nemiga, and Xanta's trying to make the most of this. He's getting up close with the timing of that Org. Tenia will put him down. And that makes this way less threatening, way less dangerous for Heroic. They've got a 2-player advantage, but they have thwarted the mid-to-B split.
Bit of information gathered, but now that's the bomb spotted, and the rotate will slowly but surely begin.
Oh, important trade. If that goes the way of Risky Bob, there was a window that just slightly maneuvers into an ajar position, but it has been slammed closed. And Khan, a bit of damage onto Tenia. 7 seconds left. The economy for Heroic not really justifiable to charge down the last T. So they'll agree on a ceasefire, which will see Heroic retaliate in kind with one of his own, or Sunpice is getting aggressive here, and they're going to pop flash him in from LNZ. Sunpice on the wide swing, but everyone was looking at middle. Oh, it's backfired. They were looking at mid. Oh, it's gone from bad to worse as they lose multiple players on Catwalk, and now Nemiga can pick the pace up. They've done the damage they were seeking.
Dust 2 is going to be about for Heroic, figuring out that Orc from Sunpice might have a good opportunity here. They're going to have to rely on just a couple of flashes.
And he's got that smoke down, but they're actually dropping into CT. Sunpice needs to do some heavy lifting. Or maybe not. Tenia's there to help him out, and it's LNZ that's held the line with 2. Lear frantically spraying through the smoke, finally finds his man. And it will yield the plant. Important trade goes against Xanta, and then Tenia goes in for more.
Could be vulnerable now.
Oh, the Molotov. Oh, he just bypasses it and gets 2. So he has no right to get both those kills. Maybe 1 at best. Drops to low HP. 1 HP on the board and somehow doubles up. And Heroic have been comprehensively outplayed in this one. You can make an argument for their second round off the back of... and then execute fully onto the site and get all the success they were hoping for. So signs of life for Nemiga.
Yeah, and Sunpice there. Losing that AWP. I don't know if Youngster will be able to get it back because there are plenty of players coming his way. Oh, 2 through the doors, no way to deal with them. But credit to Khan, he seemed aware of that himself. Decided to flash Sunpice away. And in the meantime, Khan actually catching X-Floud in mid. That was one of those weak weapons, having to hold the mid doors. Now Tanir will go aggressive, and the flash this time on point for Heroic. So they bring that frag back. He's got to be careful. Just a FAMAS on Long, and the AK puts him down straight away.
That's the 3rd time that that has gone in favor of Xanta now out and Long. Maybe a weakness has been spotted. Sunpice, though, with 1. Doesn't snatch at the opportunity, just picks around the corner, but Khan nearly lines up for 2. Nearly a collapse shot. Sunpice finally gets his man, and Xanta last spotted on Long. From LNZ's perspective, gonna walk head-to-head with Sunpice, and he blasts him away. Just the 1 death in coming up to 10 rounds is pretty impressive, but goes to show how A and mid-centered these rounds have been from Nemiga's perspective.
Very true. Meanwhile, LNZ up close does damage, but xFloud was hoping he could get set up for success, but the trades are just too quick. And Zwei realizes he might not be able to go too far into the open. He had the bomb there. Playing a dangerous game, but his teammates are trying to help from short, and the kills just keep on coming.
And now they're going to explode back in with a solid buy into the next one. So this could be a 6-6 coming up. The two of them are pushing. He's going to be watching for the mid-peak. Meanwhile, xFloud can get up close with the MP9. The flash, though, is good. And they anticipated this 100%. They read the script. They knew that an aggressive, almost desperate play would have to come through with a lack of utility and firepower. And the Nemiga have made the perfect call. The perfect read from Leah.
Now, Sunbias's orb is rotating back through CT, but Youngster goes aggressive. And there's not much he can do here. Zwei puts him to bed. And this is Nemiga really rolling now, really looking comfortable on this T side. Tanir will fade away with the AWP and try and save what he can, but even that will not be allowed, as Nemiga have really found their footing here.
Believing, having faith that they can still pick this round up. Already a third of the timer on the fuse has ticked away, though, so they're going to have to pick up the pace here, and Zwei lays down LNZ, padding his stats with a 3K.
Could be really dangerous here. Oh, he's actually dealt with, though. Tanir gets him down with a Glock, and now the players from lower tunnels able to find even more. Heroic off to a great start.
Oh, this could be just carnage. You don't expect it necessarily, though, if you're on the side of Heroic. Typically, you're expecting like a long rotation, maybe catwalk, so they may get baited into a false sense of security, but LNC doesn't give a damn. 3 headshots in quick succession.
But they are getting crunched in on.
And decent damage also to Sunbias, who is going to shake that off. Dealing fatal blow to Xanta. Oh, LNZ's position compromised. He did do damage. A headshot connects, but it's not enough to send Zwei packing. The problem here, though, for Nemiga is B-site is difficult to retake at the best of times. Sure, they have a player advantage, but 2 of them are limping their way to the site. And they know 1 bullet will seal the deal onto Zwei or Khan. At this point, you've got to think about economy as well. It really sucks. I'm sure they'll still try and go in for it. They are an aggressive kind of team and outfit, but they've already taken a lot of time off this fuse. It's starting to look rough. They're going to have to push through this smoke and a flashbang on top of it. And Risky Bob does get the opener. That's huge for them. Now comes down to Sunbias. Caught in 2 mines. Does connect the shot, but is there no kit? There's no time. The round still goes the way of Heroic, and one of these players may die to the bomb if they're not careful. They should be okay, but the damage has been inflicted. They have to commit to this. There's not enough time, and they've also given up most of the control of the map. But Youngster decides it's his time to shine, and shine he shall, with 2 headshots and entry frags. And although Zwei is keeping this round alive, it's not for much longer. Khan, with the arduous, difficult task of trying to retake and clutch with an AWP against a 1v2. And now he's been spotted, and that probably seals the fate of this round. If he peeks again, he could just straight up die. And that would be a disaster. The money from Nemiga, they have to save this AWP. He's got to get out of there.
But he decided to take that risk of playing it towards B on that read.
It's over on the B side, but it will be against Zwei on his FAMAS. And so you can't take anything for granted here. The spray is good for 1 and a headshot on the second. But they're wrapping around the back so quickly, not for the first time. Risky Bob, it's a shooting gallery. But Youngster plants his feet and gets 2. Somehow down into a 2-on-2, but he is going to be pushed once again, and he's on low HP on 19 health, but Khan's missed his sitter, and he's been punished accordingly.
Oh, that was the moment that Khan could have made the difference, but the missed AWP shot leaves him a sitting duck.
I'm sure the information's been passed that Youngster at least is low as well. That was confirmed damage. The spray's good. Leah now has a chance. Both players weakened. A HE and a flash for Youngster. Does he opt to use it or just stand with the assault rifle? And Leah, he is going to save the day for his team, leading by example with a 1v2 clutch. Oh, this time it's Xanta that goes down, prey to the double push. Khan with 1 as a parting gift, but will that be enough to stop the onslaught, to save the site? They're looking to sequester this from the side of Heroic and pushing up close in the smoke. Risky Bob gets himself the MP9 frag. Khan missing out on that chance, may get punished and will. Falls prey to Teena's AK. Oh, and through the smoke, Patinia runs out of ammunition. It's an awkward encounter, but Sun Pius is there to lend a helping hand with the scout. You're going to go back to the drawing board and really scout this one out. Meanwhile, though, Hiroka picking up the pace, looking to try and finish it right here, right now. And although Khan valiantly gets 2, eventually he's going to fall down because his site partner is no longer in the server. Tina with an important headshot onto Leah. Smoke's being tossed in. Khan down to just 8 HP. And the smoke's beginning to land and fade away this push. 18 kills to his name. Molotov coming through, so he's going to back away. Bit of damage done, but Youngster's there to just shut the door on Khan. And now from above, Xanta somehow gets both. But he doesn't have the kit. Yes, he has. He's just picked it up, and that allows him the luxury of clutching. So very close, but Nemiga live to fight another day.
Now Heroic have that advantage, and they're happy to work with it.
Oh. Ooh. Speaking of risks, Khan felt like he had to try and make a play. If he gives up mid, it was only Sway by himself on the side, but Sway has kind of forged a path for himself. He decides the best way of getting through this is to fight, is to grit your teeth and just push, and that's the bomb that's been put down in the tunnels. This is now a winnable round for Sway, but he's just slightly off with his spray, but he's weakened 3 targets. And between Xanta and Leah, with only 20 seconds left, they've elected not to try and push in and deal with the bomb, so they're going to allow a post-plant to come in, and Xfloud has the angle. Only 8 bullets in the magazine, so has to trade across, but he's put this down into another Xanta. 1v2. Is he going to be able to wind it back again and allow history to strike twice? The bomb is being planted with just 3 seconds on the clock. LNZ and Tina both weakened, both wounded, and Xanta, the way he played that last round was so exquisite, but 2 completely separate angles. Gonna have to get the protractor out and figure out how the hell to calculate this one. But a headshot makes things so much easier. But Xanta cannot deliver again. It's asking too much of the man. And Heroic take Nemiga's pick. And it looks like Xanta may walk straight into this trap. The timing, though, may very well work against him, because now he's been spotted, but he takes down both.
Wow, that second shot's a stunner onto Tanir through the side of the wall. And that will completely dissuade Heroic from going over towards that B side of the map. But look at that from Youngster. He catches Sway a little overexposed out on the A site. And that should allow a pretty safe passage for this bomb.
He's carved a path. He's brute forced his way into his CT box position. The flash is so good, and he instantly taps the head off of Risky Bob. But Leah, it's about where that third player is. So Sun Pius is watching for the backstab, the flank. The smoke has gone down, though. Have they overthought this one? Oh, Xfloud, and I'll be thinking maybe I should have just snatched the life away of that one player.
They were really hoping that early utility would allow them to close the distance, but now if Tanir fights from jungle, it's against a rifle, and it's a really hard fight to win.
3 kills in the blink of an eye, and this round is over. Down goes Sun Pius. Well, now those Xanta is around the corner. He should be able to see Tina now. It's a free frag. And they're also going to push out Connector at the same time. It's Sun Pius. He is aware of that being a possibility. Holding the line, gets baited out, and he will die. Mid-control in the favor of Nemiga, but they've lost the A site. And although a smoke has gone down, it won't stop them from peeking up on the staircase, which I'm sure that Heroic will be more than capable of dealing with. So Xanta needs to be careful here. If he goes down, the round very well could fall with him. Risky Bob with the AWP, not typically the AWPer on the team, has been spotted as he misses his shots. And Nemiga already into a bit of an awkward position. They only have a smoke and a flash to get back on the site with.
Be able to instead focus on the A side of the map with their other players, quickly run that over.
He's peering around this corner slowly. I think he just heard a jump and nearly gets the upper hand. Nearly shuts down Xanta, who goes back in for more. Doesn't do really any damage in the process, but there is Risky Bob using the second AWP.
Still this A side being collapsed in on, though. Lear taking a ton of damage in the process of getting his frag, and he can't reposition. Those smokes fade just as Tanir finds the angle. And now Khan in CT can't really move forward with the flames in his face. He'll clear the plant, he'll go for the shot. It looks like Sun Pius will get it down safely, and it's 2 AWPs right now. They're really trying what they can on this retake. But how the hell do you get back into this bomb site?
I don't think you can, in all honesty. Even if they get the first pick, well, where's the rest of the cavalry there? Tina has just baited out Sun Pius horrifically. There's a flash tossed in, but I mean, they knew both players were in CT boxes, so it's so surprising to me that they're not playing together. Heroic Surely you don't lose this round. It's the full defuse. One bullet needs to seal it up. And they get it done with a millisecond left on the defuse. That was nearly... Yeah, smoke's now coming through. Youngster in the Palace is maybe going to be one of the first players to come out, but he needs to be careful. There is Zwei alongside Xanta in close proximity. Xanta smoking himself into shadow and hoping for the best, but he gets peeked before it can fully bloom. Leah from Sandwich, though, nearly gets 2 for his troubles. There's so much carnage and chaos means tons of time left on the clock as it was rapid fire frags. And now the plant is down successfully. A Molotov and a HE on the side of Heroic, but a ton of utility, including an AWP for Khan as he slowly protrudes and peers up on the CT boxes. Risky Bob making inroads through on connector. Going to be looking to try and strike together. Molotov forces Lalenzy out into the open, and Khan will oblige, snatches his life away. Sunpai is playing in the open angle right now. Risky Bob hasn't seen him. Oh, the spray, though, is rough. It's going to cost him his life, or perhaps not. The full defuse in the smoke, and Sunpai has no idea. And this time, Nemiga get it. This time, they're able to successfully get the defuse in, and Sunpai, even though he tries the burst clock. Oh, that trade, though, is massive. It goes in favor of Sunpius. Risky Bob may get a shutdown, but there is a smoke as well in the mix. Amongst all of it. Is he going to go straight past? Oh, he's been nailed by Team Near. He had no idea he could be up on that angle. And Sunpius puts the last nail in the coffin. Insult to injury. 5v3 goes begging. And now this is just the cleanup. Get out the mop and bucket. Sweep away Nemiga, get that 5-4 lead. Just Lee remains, and he has been seen on the B side. USP will not triumph over, well, in this case, it's the HE.
Up at the top of the board now. It does look like we'll get some aggression on mid for Nemiga. Looks like they do want to contest this at least a little, but the player in underpass has been mollied. Xanta, he gets away with one. Meanwhile, flash in, and Risky Bob gets the advantage.
Oh, just everyone has been sent into the Lions. Don't have anyone around Palace, balcony, shadow, so you're going to have to give this one up and then try and fight together back as a reunited force. But Youngster is going to make the most of that opportunity up in the tall booth, and it's going to be Zwei that pays with his life. Khan, meanwhile, gets one, but it's a counter frag from Xanta. Back and forth in favor of Nemiga, but caught with a grenade out is Xanta. He was low, trying to fend off and be useful for his teammates to get back on the site as they're both around stairs, respectively. And LNZ, he's aware of this. Sunpius nails the shot on the cross, changing up his angle. Doesn't want to see any more smoke diffuse shenanigans. He's already been on the wrong side of that, and he says no to Risky Bob emphatically with his AWP.
He may start to get the info, but he may be in trouble, getting crunched in from connector. Too many angles to deal with.
It's a valiant attempt from Zwei, but unfortunately just too many players to deal with and no real presence on Catwalk. They did have a play there, but it's the MP9 at that longer range where it's basically just mosquitoes against the windshield. And now Leah up close has made so much noise, trying to draw out the shot. Be careful what you wish for, though. He's had his legs blown out, but still able to deliver the fatal blow into X-Flower, but that is one of many issues he has to contend with. Now he's alone, flashes and HEs, does connect a shot through the smoke onto Sunpius, but jumps right by the very capable hands of Tania.
Couple of pieces of utility from Lear deployed onto the A bomb site, but there are 4 CTs here as it stands.
Shot, Risky Bob cracks open the connector. Now Xcloud can try and focus his attention over there, but in actual fact, it was Leah that was also protruding through on the ramp. He's going to back away as they have some control over the CT side, and it looks like Nemiga may very well dial in both pistol rounds here on Mirage, barring a huge miracle play from Xcloud or maybe Youngster who's on low HP, and if he decides to peek into window, he will be backstabbed.
Quick mid-round call there from Nemiga. That was what was most impressive. It was a good call, but most importantly, they were very quick to realize, okay, this A site feels heavily reinforced. And also, I think more importantly, the bomb was left solo on ramp after Xcloud got that initial kill.
It is a huge downgrade in multiple facets. So Youngstar, if he can get this drop on the Risky Bob, a bit slow on the draw, but still gets it done. And now the scout comes to fruition. Now, it's kind of twofold. I think they want to try and take weapons away, but also let the bomb maybe detonate one of these other players as well. It's going to force Nemiga out into the open. Leah nearly goes down with the ship. And Zwei, he actually has neutralized the AK. They can't pick it back up again. And Sunpius dies. Which is so good right now for Nemiga. Maybe proving us wrong about this Mirage. heavily favoring Heroic in terms of all the statistics, but stats don't matter when the pressure of a major is on the line. And Sway deals fatal damage to Tina. Nothing that LNZ can get in terms of success, and St. Pius, who was low earlier, has now been finished off. Youngster can do little but try and hold on to this Galil. He decides to get aggressive behind it. This round is a done deal, though. There's the shutdown. The AK has traded hands, but there will be no further way forward. Flash is now down. Youngster's going to know exactly what's coming up. And the sideswipe in from St. Pius. Maybe didn't need to peek that. Play alongside St. Pius. Youngster gets a little bit too over-aggressive. Maybe anxiety creeping in, but whichever way you spin it, it's Nemiga again after losing the first player in prime position to extend their lead further. Flashbang tossed onto the CT boxes, does hit Tania, but barely affects him. And with 14 seconds left, if he can deny the bomb plant, that may be good enough, but he's got 3 players staring him down. And now LNZ with a FAMAS, already tagged down to 13 HP. And in a post plant, all the pressure on him, and he cannot withstand the weight, the burden. Oh, he decides to press forward. I'm surprised at that. You would think the way they've been playing so far, they would have just tried to back off and save, but I guess they've hit that breaching point. They've expended all of their patience. They know they have to start fighting for rounds, but that was not the time. No one there to help him, but now Tania, against a low, weakened Leah, takes him out. The bomb was making moves over in the hands of Khan, but there's only 15 seconds to play with. He has no choice. He has to go onto the B site. Risky Bob could very well clear out this Tania presence, and in doing so win the round, but now that he's been taken out of the equation, he'll win based off time, if not kills. Tania has just clutched out Heroic's life on their map, giving them a chance to build themselves back in. For xFloud, it is good, but it's more to allow him to reposition with the HE, and Youngster has got his man. Now pushing into xFloud are the T's. It's a little bit of a labored spray on the second time of asking, so Khan does get his man of xFloud, and Youngster, who was perched up on the sandwich, sent packing, but Sunpie is still delivering with the AWP, and the HE from range, the touchdown onto Khan, leaving Leah with 29 HP to his name. And no control over the bomb, but he has now picked it up. Gonna just try and force this plant down, but Heroic will not allow him that luxury. 2 rounds in a row, and they're getting themselves back in this. The money as well, a little bit bleak on Nemiga. St. Pius needs the kill, connects it. Although xFloud has died, St. Pius is a real problem at the back of the site. Smoke also to allow him to relocate onto the bench, and now the backstab comes in. Youngster unsheaths his blade and plunges it between the shoulders of Nemiga. And with 13 seconds, Leah stuck in such a horrible position. It's hellacious for him, and he has to try and use that smoke to his advantage. Sprays through there, but St. Pius once again passes with flying colors. xFloud just needs to stay in position as it stands. They're about to walk head first into a trap. St. Pius needs the kill, connects it. Although xFloud has died, St. Pius is a real problem at the back of the site. Smoke also to allow him to relocate onto the bench, and now the backstab comes in. Youngster unsheaths his blade and plunges it between the shoulders of Nemiga. And with 13 seconds, Leah stuck in such a horrible position. It's hellacious for him, and he has to try and use that smoke to his advantage. Sprays through there, but St. Pius once again passes with flying colors, and we are back to an even keel. Effects in this round looking pretty rough, and you were on the money as well, talking about how St. Pius typically does some of his best work on Mirage, and he's been living up to that so far. But do not take your eyes off xFloud, because he can shut them so quickly. 3 kills to the Turk. And although Risky Bob has taken down Youngster, he is not going to get anything else from this round. So from an 11-7 deficit, Heroic on the brink of going to a 3rd map, but they're able to put them back up again, and a second gust, a second win comes through. And Leah, he's making moves round the back, taking a page out of Youngster's book with a backstab, but it may not be required because everybody is being capitulated, vanquished off the A site for Heroic. And Tania trying to use the smoke as his ally, his only remaining friend, but it will not be enough to withstand 5 players, and to OT we move.
With good reason, because Nemiga still needs to make a move, and look at that from LNZ. That all finally coming into play. Bianca getting that kill, being able to fall back, and now Heroic in good position. But as soon as I say that, Youngster goes a little too far, and it's back to even numbers.
Tania though with a shutdown. Oh, would have been disappointed he couldn't double up, especially as xFloud is low. And with 35 seconds, they have the choice of hitting either site. The bomb is dropped back over on the app side, on the T side of things. So Zway's now picked it up. Where does he decide to push with it? Almost shaking his head to the skies. Disappointed that he's all alone to fight off against two. Going straight to the site now. Not really being stealthy about it. Doesn't have the time, doesn't have the luxury to do so. Molotov is going to give his position away. And now LNZ on the cross is going to nail his shot.
This time, Sonpai's back into ramp. Not quite on the money this time, but this time, Youngster on that close angle doesn't give away his position, and it works out for him.
That flash is so good, but so is Sonpais. Oh, another beautiful flick from the Spaniard, and he wants to go back in for more. Missing this time, but the weakened numbers doesn't really make a difference unless Xanta can do something truly spectacular. Second frag is good. And that can really throw a wrench in the works here on Nemiga's side, but he's actually bypassing it by going into Palace. And now Youngster has to force himself into the conversation. He's no longer looking to be defensive, he's being proactive, but caught in the back and taken out. Heroic will not get the clean sweep. Nemiga hanging on for dear life.
Meanwhile, Sway going aggressive on ramp. There was a player there to near watching. Don't think he quite spotted Sway get up close. That bomb is going back to A as these mid players continue to look for the opening, and the flash is fantastic. In the meantime, though, Zway gets the one-on-one fight, and oh no, he tries to change weapons, but that allows the Glock of Sonpais to take him out.
This utility is exquisite, by the way, from Heroic. Pop flashes into peaks, Molotovs into just fragging out as they have to push through it to try and desperately help their teammates, and now Khan is being ripped to shreds out on the ticket booth. It was a double AWP play, and it's now down to just the solo of Khan. And if Heroic successfully get this 1v4, it will be 2 more qualification points. And he's being swarmed in from the back as well. There is a flank coming in from xFloud. Whichever way you look at this, Khan's days are looking like they're pretty much done. Who collects the frag? Is he able to pick up any on his return? Yes, he is, but it's an even trade back and forth, and Heroic will secure 2 more match points, 2 more qualification points. And Nemiga, as you have highlighted as well, his mid-control has been so good. A flash perfectly placed, a ton of damage onto Risky Bob, down to 8, and they're going to be pushing into underpass as well. It's Tini that's going to be trying to protrude through the smoke, but it's so thick it's enough to choke on, so he's going to have to just stand his position and wait for it to clear. And in doing so, Nemiga may back off, but instead, Risky Bob, living up to his name, getting aggressive behind the smoke, realizing he has to try and make a play, but in doing so, he's just given himself a cross and sacrificed himself for nothing. It's in vain. And Heroic in a 2-on-4 on the brink of securing the major. Makes that a 1-on-4 with Leah all that remains. May get the drop onto Dania. And they're about to taste that success. And that dream is about to become a reality as Sonpais lays down the law onto Leah, and Heroic, the first team to make the Austin Major from the EU qualifier.